cross the creek, you cross over there, and then there's this little kind of ATV trail through here. And then you come up, this is an actual campground. I mean, like full on real campground. I just thought it was like camping. But it's it looks like a good spot. Show you here on the big map. We started down here and we've gone all the way up here. And we're now right here at Brazil Creek, which is the 9-mile mark. Okay, so I'd have to cruise right along here over to Harmon Spring, and there's no designated camping there, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to find, and I hate to come in late and not know what the hell I'm getting myself into. So I'll just kill an hour. You know, I got a book, I got something to do. So I think I'm going to take this spot over here because it looks like the only spot with a fire ring. So, and it's got a picnic table, so I at least have some place to sit too. As soon as I came walking up, a truck drove by on the road, which is right over here, and it pulled in, and I was like, uh-oh, the locals are angry. But he asked if I was all right, and he wanted to know if I was sleeping here tonight, and he, you know, reminded me of the temperature that it was supposed to get to, and I informed him that I'll be all right. And he said that if there's any issues, I can go up the road a little bit to wherever the next road is, and go up a couple houses, and that's his house, and I can sleep on his floor. So nice, folks. So this is what we got. We got a little stump, got a couple remnants of wood here, probably wet. You know, they got a little bear container or hanger, so I'll have to find a spot to set up for the night. This is most likely here for the equestrians, you know. That's the way it looks. But this is the only fire pit, so we're camping around here. Alright, I got the tent set up. I wanted to get that done. I wasn't necessarily going to rely on a fire tonight. That wasn't really my plan. But seeing as how I'm stopped so early, and the temperature is already 32, and it was 34 when I got here, and I've only been here like 15-20 minutes at the most. I better start collecting some firewood. I brought the Laplander Baco saw again, and we'll use that. The only bummer so far is I don't have a cell signal, and I know that sounds funny being out in the woods, but I do like to check in and let my wife know I'm still alive. And it's going to be a cold one tonight. I know she's going to worry, but I'll walk around a little bit and see if I can't find some place that might have a little bit of signal. I probably should have done it before I came off that hill up there. Well, that certainly makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? Somebody has cut wood and left it, which is good, because I'm going to use it tonight. Alright, so this is what I collected up. Not really a whole lot, I'll be honest with you. But I don't plan to sit around the fire all night. I'll just get in my bag. It's a lot warmer, honestly. But, so I'm going to start processing some of this up, and then get the rest of my stuff set up before the sun goes down. I have to say, it's nice to have a picnic table to put all your crap on, so you're not dealing on the ground, you know. So this is the pause blanket I wanted to show you guys. This is it was a quilt liner. I made this for actually that very first hike that I did, when I had a 35-degree bag and it got down to about 12. I needed something to put on the inside, so I created this, and all it is just fleece from Joann fabric. Okay, and I folded it over. I got in it, and I basically kind of folded it over myself and figured out where I needed to pin it along the edge here. And you see, I made it rounded. You don't have to make it rounded. You could just basically fold it over, and then you sew up one side, and then I just sewed up here, and I left it open so I could use it like a quilt. But in theory, you could sew it all the way up. And this fabric was, I think, on sale for like $3.99 a yard, and I bought I guess it would be 2 yards because it's 60 inches wide or 59 or whatever it is wide. And so it was basically enough to fold over me, and it provides a little additional warmth. So I went ahead and brought it this time, and I'll stick it in my bag and use it, you know. You could do the same thing with a sheet if you wanted to make sort of like a liner for your sleeping bag to protect it from sweat and oils and things like that. So it's a real simple DIY project, and you can get, you know, you could get thicker fleece. You could double it up if you wanted to increase the insulation value. And this stuff is you know, breathable for the most part, and so it should be interesting to try out and see how it all works out. I do love the Baco Laplander, let me tell you, but it sure is a lot of work to process that wood. A buck saw definitely would make it easier, and splitting it would be a lot easier with a hatchet as opposed to batoning. But I got a lot of larger chunks and a bunch of smaller ones, twigs. I got some of this fuzzy bark here that I'm gonna fuzz up, and then there's some dry grasses over there I might go check out, see if they're any good. Worst case, I got jute twine, and you know, if it need be, I'll just stick a Esbit tab in there. We will have fire. Some of that stuff that was over by the sign is kind of green, so unfortunately I really can't use much of it. But we're getting things together. I might start this up here soon, and I'm just finishing packing things up in the tent, and then we'll see about getting food and getting a meal. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock, 4:30. So sun should be headed down here soon. It's on the other side of the horizon. But I kind of lucked out being close to the stream. I can just walk over here and get water. I brought the Moore's pot because I figured I may need to boil a large quantity so I can fill up my 1-liter bottles. And then there's sycamores here, a whole bunch of sycamores. You can see this one right here still has fruit on it. But sycamores like water, so you're going to find them next to creeks. There's one there, one there, one there. And they like to drop branches, which makes it nice to collect stuff. I know it's off the ground, but it's better than nothing. And they'll drop branches that will get hung up in trees around them. So it's a good tree to know. All right, here's a little wintertime tip here. I use a lot of electronics out in the field. I use obviously my camera. I have you know, my headlamp, my phone I use for still pictures and things like that. So all those batteries do not like the cold, that is for sure. So one tip is to keep them all in like a little bag. I've got one of these little Walmart bags. Let me show you. And I put all my junk in here. I've got my GPS when I'm done with for the day. I've got my big brick battery charger in there. And then I also have spare batteries for my headlamp and my my GPS. And so I keep all those in there, and then once I get to camp, I take this bag and I stick it into the inside pocket of my down coat, and that way they stay warm. That's especially important when I go to charge my camera or my phone at night, that it's already warmed up and I'm not trying to charge it with a cold battery, because that doesn't necessarily work that well. So, and that's kind of how I do it. Also, instead of using rechargeable batteries, I use lithium batteries. The Energizer lithium, they're more expensive, but they do work a lot better, and they handle the cold a lot better than regular alkaline or rechargeable. So just a little winter tip there. And then at night, I take this whole bag and I stuff it into the foot box of my quilt, and that way I have charged power stuff in the morning. Because if I leave my phone out, by tomorrow morning my phone will be completely dead, even though right now it's probably got 80% charge. So just a little tip. All right, for dinner we got some couscous, and we're gonna put in some of this chunky chicken. It's a bit cold though, so I put it in my pocket to kind of warm it up, make sure it's not frozen when I add it to the couscous. Get a little hot chocolate, and a little Ryan's Irish style cream liqueur. We're going to try that in a hot chocolate tonight. And then of course a Snickers almond. And that should be good. For the most part, I'm just kind of picking stuff up as I go and putting things into the tent, and that way when it's time to turn in, I don't have to come out here and pick stuff up. I'm ready to roll. So one of the things I did was I filled the Morse pot and I boiled it up, made sure it was a good rolling boil. And I'm just going to leave it sit next to the fire. And then when I go to bed, and when the wood has died down a bit, there's just coals left, I'll put the pot over it, and that way it'll make sure that it doesn't freeze. Because as you can see here, my water is already freezing. So that's going to be a problem in the morning. It'll thaw out, but I won't have any water in the morning. So what I'll do is I'll take my Morse pot, which should not be frozen, and I'll just pour that into my containers and you know, my 20-ounce bottle that I carry on my pack strap. That way I have water to drink until the rest of it thaws out. Now I did put this stuff down here by the fire, and I got a bit too close. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit out of shape. The plastic started to I don't know, get too hot, but it did melt. So, or I did melt the ice in there. Anyway, I'm just kind of rambling. So I'll leave this out here too. Maybe this will, you know, not freeze so much if it's close to the fire. But I don't want to leave it too close to melt, you know, melt the plastic. So that's really about it. I got about 15 miles to do tomorrow. Which honestly, if I get up in the morning and get out of here, I mean, I'll probably be done by like 2 or 3. So I'll have to make a decision if I'm going to stick around or if I'm just going to head home. You know, I mean, I didn't expect to be done that early, but it is only 25 miles. So, but yeah, staying warm. I mean, I'm completely warm right next to the fire, and I'm sure once I hop in the bag, I'll be nice and toasty as well. So anyway, catch you guys in the morning.